Hey, sports fans, welcome back to another episode of Bucky's Sports Show. I'm here this evening with Jay, and we're going to talk about the NL Central. Before we get to that, though, Jay, I got a question for you. Went to the Indiana State IU baseball game Tuesday night up in Terre Haute. NCAA this year instituting a double first base rule. Apparently, that double first base helps keep collisions low. All of that. What are your thoughts on that? I know I'm kind of springing this on you.
Yeah, I honest to God had never thought about it. If it cuts down on injuries, that's fine with me. Unless I guess where they put the line at, and how much is it?
It's in the middle of the runner's lane.
Okay, all right. Does the foul line go down the middle of the?
The first base for the fielder didn't move. The second base is in the middle of the running lane.
Okay.
For the runner.
Okay, all right. So it's not actually increasing the distance, not decreasing the distance to second base.
No.
Oh, I think that's fine. No. I think it's great.
Okay, so college was the first to use the pitch clock.
Yeah.
Which the MLB eventually adopted.
After they put in the minors for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long until we see the double first base in Major League Baseball, you think?
I don't think it'll be very long, and I think the pitch clock is great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm for it.
What first baseman has to get injured in a collision for it to be almost immediate?
Well, I can think of several. Freddie Freeman would make a huge stride towards you take a key player like that off of the major team like the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it would happen pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. That would definitely swing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's start off with the NL Central here, and let's start off with some fireworks because I have a feeling we're not going to agree with this first team. Just because you're I'm not going to say diehard Cardinal fan, but you grew up a diehard Cardinal fan.
We'll get into what kind of Cardinal fan I am.
That rival did not change anything as you aged. So we'll start off with the Chicago Cubs. I got the World Series as a plus 3,000, and that's a no. NL Pennant at plus 1,500, that's a no. NL Central, they're a plus 125. I've got the yes on that. The win total is 85.5. The over is minus 115. The under is minus 105. I've got the over. Make playoff, yes is minus 140. No is plus 115. And I've got the yes on that, obviously, with them winning the Central. Players to watch, Kyle Tucker. Missed 3 months last year due to a broken shin. He returned in September and hit 365 that month for the Astros. Can he do that for his new team?
Yeah.
And, the friendly confines will help with that. And then my keys is the bullpen. They got a solid starting rotation and a good lineup. My question mark for them is the bullpen. Mm-hmm. And when they get a lead, can they hold it for them?
I think the key to what you just said is, because I was looking at that very thing. The key to that is how many innings can the starting rotation eat? Mm-hmm. Because when you look at this bullpen, the three of the key bullpen pitchers, one's 36 years old, one's 37 years old, and one's 38 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
If you don't need innings early in the season and you start putting pressure to use those guys every day, by the end of the season, you're going to be hurting big time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're
absolutely.
They did a good job of showing up the bullpen by signing these experienced veterans.
Yeah.
But if the starting rotation doesn't eat innings and they have to use these guys on a daily basis in the first half of the season, they're going to be hurting big time.
Yeah.
And Tucker is a definite stud.
Yeah.
If he stays healthy, he'll do great. I just don't think there's enough with him. They're going to miss They're going to miss Bellinger, and they're going to be heavily relying on Michael Bush. In fact, they're projected to back in cleanup.
Yeah.
I just don't. I think he'll be good, but I don't think he's going to be as good as what they need him to be. Hyon's injury prone. When he's healthy, he's good. But I just, we talked about our first session that it comes down to question marks. We talked about comparing the Orioles and the Red Sox and the Yankees and who has more question marks. Well, we've found that out recently. And I just think that the Cubs have more question marks than the team that I picked to win it.
That's fair.
So I just don't. And I try to look at this objectively.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah,
if your question marks are
anybody that knows me knows I can't stand the Cubs. Basically, and I'll just say it right out. I'm a baseball fan first and a Cardinal fan second. There are only 2 teams. I will say, okay, there are only 3 teams that I actually root against in Major League Baseball. Cubs, Yankees, and because they cheated years ago and didn't get anything for it, the heck with the Astros too.
Okay.
All right. Other than that, I don't wish ill will on anybody. But I'm sorry, I cannot root for the Cubs. I cannot bet on the Cubs. I just can't find it in myself.
That's fair.
So there you go.
That is fair.
And we go back to what we talked about before we even got on this session. I think one of the dumbest things the Cubs ever did was giving Craig Counsell a $40 million 5-year contract. To invest that kind of money in a manager that is good, but to me, not that much better than a lot of other managers they could have hired, and to give him as much money as you would give a star prospect,
right?
Nuts. I think Milwaukee's laughing all the way to the bank because they're probably not paying their manager a tenth of what he's getting.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's doing just as good or better. I think that was the biggest blunder that they've made, and it hasn't really shown to do them any good yet. Yeah. So there you go.
I will one up you on that one. I'm a Dansby Swanson fan. Another Brave that helped Braves win a World Series. It bothered me when he went to the Cubs. He, kid from Kennesaw, Georgia, grew up a Braves fan, is in his backyard there.
I understand that.
And he left. But I didn't think he was worth 7 years, $177 million that the Cubs were paying.
I absolutely agree, and I think he's overrated too.
And then when you look at his stats, in his 2 years there, he's hit 244, 242.
Great defensively.
Great defense.
Only 3 errors or something like that last year. But that's the other thing. I think they put way too much dependence on him offensively. He's very overrated.
I will say in his 21 year and 22 year with the Braves, he only missed 2 games out in those 2 seasons.
Yeah, he's
an everydayer. He has missed more games with the Cubs than what he did with the Braves.
He's older.
But his last year in Atlanta, he is hitting 277. If he can get that average back up to where it was there, and I think he will. I think eventually, but he's not worth the $177 million that the Cubs paid him. He's just not. So I don't remember what Cub fan I told that to, but.
Well, Nico Horner's hurt now, too. I think for Swanson to be more, and look who's batting behind him. I think for him to be better offensively, they need to move him around in the order. I don't think, batting down in 5th with what he's got behind him.
Swanson needs to be in the 2-hole.
Yeah, he's not going
to. And be an average hitter.
Yeah, he's not going to see a lot of good pitches.
And let an Ian Happ or a Michael Bush knock him around and get an RBI.
Yeah, he's not going to see a lot of pitches down there.
No.
Not with who you got behind him. No. That's going to hurt him.
But yeah, if they can figure out their batting lineup and all that, I still think they're better than the rest of the NL Central. But we'll see. That's what makes it fun. Because again, we talked about the AL Central being a 4-team race. In my opinion, this is a 3-team race, potentially 4.
Very potentially 4, yeah. Yeah, we'll get to that.
So, that
fourth potential.
Yeah. So
I got him picked to finish 3rd.
Okay. All right. Cincinnati Reds.
Okay.
World Series is a plus 9,000. I've got the no. NL Pennant plus 5,000. I got a no. NL Central plus 650. I've got a no. Win total 78.5. The over is minus 115. The under is minus 105. I've got the over. Make playoffs. Yes is plus 300. No is minus 400. I've got a no. My players to watch is Ellie De La Cruz.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
He has become one of the most exciting young players to watch in baseball. He had 67 stolen bases last year.
Yeah.
Now imagine what he could do if he didn't strike out 218 times.
That's the key.
I mean,
that's the key to the whole team right there.
His strikeout average is higher than his batting average. If he changes that, the Reds win this division going away.
He's looking great in spring training so far.
Yeah.
That's spring training.
Right.
So, but yeah, that is the absolute unequivocal key to this whole offense of this team.
Yep.
I mean, it was said on MLB Network the other day on the radio. If he strikes out less than 200 times, then they've got a chance to really go places. If he strikes out over 200 times, they're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And the other, Matt McClain, getting him back, okay, he's going to be a great player. But I think the best thing the Reds have done in God knows how long is hiring Terry Francona.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, without a doubt. I mean, Bell was never any good as a manager. I don't know why they held on to him as long as they did. He will get stuff out of these young guys that hardly any other manager possibly could.
Right.
So I have them picked to finish 2nd.
Right.
A lot of potential there, a lot of good youth there, and Green, their number 1 stud. He's looking great so far in spring training, but then again, like we say. But that aside, one of the things I worry about is Gavin Lux. He's projected to play 3rd for him. He didn't do well at second base with the Dodgers.
Right.
So can he play 3rd?
Yeah.
Defensively.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't good enough to even hang with the Dodgers. They just basically let him go. So I see him as a defensive weakness at 3rd base, but maybe,
Yeah, I mean, there's still some definite holes that they need to shore up.
But if anybody can get it out of these guys, Terry could do it. And I think there's more talent there. If he could pull it out, there's more talent there than the Cubs. That's why I picked them to finish 2nd ahead of the Cubs.
Yeah.
But you don't have to know much about baseball to know that this all hinges. And let's face it, De La Cruz is still a young guy. So can he face the fact day in, day out that their entire season is resting on his young shoulders?
Yeah.
Can he handle that kind of pressure?
Right.
And there's another way that the Terry Francona hiring will look great, because Terry will take any kind of heat away from his players. He'll let it all focus on him. He's just a great manager.
Right.
Great human being. So that was when I first heard that they hired him. I'm like, being a Cardinal fan, I'm like, oh no, that's really going to turn them around. And so, but I'm really happy for our friends many of them who are Reds fans.
Yeah.
So, but regardless of whether they win the division or not, they'll be a lot of fun to watch if he's able to cut down his strikeouts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because he is electric.
He is.
He is.
Yeah. It's almost like Ron Cooney Jr. when he came up.
Very comparable. Yeah, he's fantastic. Yeah, so the question also arises, because Cincinnati being such a small market team, when he becomes eligible for free agency, will they keep
They keep him.
They
need to do what the Braves did and lock him up before he even becomes a free agent.
Yeah.
Long before, for a lot of years.
They did that with Joey Votto,
mm-hmm.
which wound up hurting them in the long run, but they aren't much without him.
Yeah, but Joey Votto wasn't this.
No, this kid is just an absolute.
David Cruz is another animal.
Yeah, he's a freak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Kirk's keys for the Reds. Pitching.
Yeah.
Their starting rotation.
Young.
Their ace was like 9-5 last year. Their number 2 guy was 10-7.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question mark on that. And then, Terry Francona.
Yeah.
Pitching is a suspect, but Francona's a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Reds improved with him in the dugout. I think he's worth 5 wins in himself.
Easy, yeah. More than that, yeah. Like I said, I got him picked finish second.
All right, Milwaukee Brewers. I got the World Series at plus 5,000. That's a no. NL Pennant plus 2,200 is a no. NL Central plus 260 is a no. The win total is 83.5. I've got that as, or 83.5. Over is plus 100. Under is minus 120. I've got the under on that. Make the playoffs, yes, plus 125. No, minus 150. I've got the no on them making the playoffs. My player to watch is Christian Yelich. Last season, he ended with back surgery. Can he return to where he was before his surgery? But he was having a MVP type season when he left.
Mm-hmm.
Can he return?
He says he's feeling great, so he even wants to play defense again.
Yeah.
So, somebody recently, I think it was last week, somebody said, to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Yep. I said that.
I can't remember who. Oh, yeah, that was you.
I said that about the Phillies.
That was you. Well, that's the way I feel about the Brewers.
That's fine. Yeah, I get that.
I got them picked to win the division.
Yep.
There's just so much talent here. I got one of the keys is Reese Hoskins.
Okay.
If he can come back to, say, the form that he was with the Phillies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
In that ballpark. Yeah. And then Bryce Terrain. He won the Platinum Glove.
Mm-hmm.
Not just the Gold Glove. He won the Platinum Glove. Churio's just an absolute, he's going to be a stud. He already is. I mean, man, from just the difference between the first half of the season and the second half of the season last year. Oh my! So
yeah.
he's there. He's made it. But yeah, Yelich is a huge key, and Contreras may be the best overall catcher in baseball.
I like William Contreras, and I think the Braves made a mistake letting him go. I'm just
absolutely
stating that right now.
Yeah, that's he's super special.
Yeah.
Both in the batter's box and behind it. He's just out there. Yeah. So and Woodruff says he's feeling great. He'll be back.
Yeah, he is my key.
And a very under the radar signing. To help them bridge that till he comes back, they signed Jose Quintana.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people who don't know a lot about baseball may have never even heard of him, but he is a very reliable starting pitcher that will eat innings for you. He never gives up a lot of runs. He's just dependable.
Yeah.
So adding him here till Woodruff gets back and Peralta, he's a legitimate number one. So I just now they will miss. Here I go with names again in my age, but the shortstop from last year that signed with the Giants,
Willie Adames.
We'll talk about that when we get to the Giants, but I think he's making a huge mistake going where he's going.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they'll miss him. But if they can make up Churio being who he is the entire year instead of half the season, will help make up for that. So I just, like I said, they're not going to be, none of the teams in this division are going to be earth-shattering. One of them has to win the division.
Yeah.
But I don't see them going any farther, any of these teams going any farther than winning the division.
No.
And that's it.
Yeah. And
it's going to be a tight 3 or 4 way race. But I just, like the Detroit, Kansas City thing, it could be razor thin. I just got them picked up to win because it's just.
It would not surprise me at all.
No. It can't surprise you if any of these teams win it. Yeah.
Well, it surprised me if one did.
Well, yeah.
We haven't reached them yet.
Yeah, we'll get that, yeah.
So Kirk's keys is Woodruff returning to his 2023 form after missing all of last year due to shoulder surgery. Because the rotation is their weak spot.
Yeah.
But we'll move on to the Pittsburgh Pirates. We'll say this is probably your second favorite team, right? I see you're repping the
Indians, yeah.
The Indianapolis Indians, the AAA affiliate of the Pirates. So
I love the Pirates because it's like watching your kids grow up. I go up there and watch so many of these players in Indianapolis that, it's almost like I know them.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's hard to be a Pittsburgh fan. And I actually feel sorry for the loyal fans in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
They deserve better, to the point where it's almost criminal what the ownership at Pittsburgh is doing to these people, because they are wasting a golden opportunity here.
Yeah.
They have what in another year or two could be, if not the best pitching staff in baseball, one of the top 2 or 3 pitching staffs in baseball, and they're wasting it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they needed to go out and sign a Juan Soto. They can't afford to do that.
Right.
But there's better than average players out there that you could have gotten to help this offense out.
Mm-hmm.
And to not improve that offense at all when you've got this kind of pitching staff, it is almost criminal. You are throwing away a golden opportunity to go somewhere.
Oh, yeah,
to at least win a division with any kind of offense. This team would win that division.
Yeah.
Without question, to me. But they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Their biggest signing was Tommy Pham. And to show how anemic, now like I said, these are all projections, okay, but to show how anemic this offense is, when you are projecting Tommy Pham to lead off,
right,
you're hurting.
Yeah.
And I have always loved Andrew McCutchen, one of the greatest people in the game. But Andrew McCutchen is not Andrew McCutchen anymore.
Right.
and they've got him projected to bat cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
When you got Tommy Pham leading off and Andrew McCutchen batting cleanup, you're hurting.
Yeah.
Now, they do have a couple of really good players in Brian Reynolds, who's batting second where he should be, and the other Cruz, O'Neill Cruz, who has the potential to be a really top-notch player.
Yeah.
But you get past them. Now, the perplexing thing is, what can I say? I watched most of these guys, quote, grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Key Brian Hayes at one time showed all kinds of potential to the extent that they signed him. You don't see the Pirates signing long-term contracts.
Right.
But they did with Reynolds and Key Brian Hayes. And Key Brian Hayes has let them down so much.
Mm-hmm.
He has not come around at all to what his projections were. He was actually when he came to the Indians, he was one of the top-rated prospects in all baseball.
Yeah.
And he's just not done anything. But to waste this great pitching staff on that, I mean, this pitching staff will keep them competitive in every game.
Yeah.
But they just can't score runs.
Right.
It's really pathetic.
Yeah. And staying on Key Brian Hayes here, he is actually my player to watch.
Yeah.
Because he does put up solid numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time. But his first year was the COVID year, 2020. He played 24 games. I don't remember what MLB played that year.
Mm-hmm.
But 2021, he 96, then 136, then 124, and 96 last year. He's got to stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
He can't stay healthy.
Well, for a third baseman, he's not a very big guy.
Yeah.
Most of the time you see a third baseman and they're, pretty stout guy.
Yeah.
He's a little guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know how he wound up at third. I could see him as a second baseman.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a power guy.
No.
But, I mean, doubles, you look at his doubles, he 20, 24, 31, and then last year was 9.
Uh-huh.
He had a bad year last year.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he played 96 games and was hurt. And
he was off and on, yeah.
So can he get healthy? Can he go back to the year before where he was hitting 31 doubles? And, I mean, 15 homers, that's high for him. He only struck out 104 times.
Mm-hmm.
He's
the potential. He's got potential.
He's got the potential.
Mm-hmm.
He's just got to do it, and that's another one of Kirk's keys. They have a new hitting coach, and Matt Haig or Hogg, or I think it's Haig. I'm not sure how he pronounces it.
Not either.
But he's supposed to be very good with that.
Mm-hmm.
So if he can get him going, and he can stay healthy,
yeah, it would help a lot. Yeah, you're right. He's because we pretty much know what we're going to get from some of the other guys. But yeah, you're right. He, besides Reynolds and Cruz, he has the next best potential.
Yeah.
But will he live up to it?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've not seen it yet, but
yeah,
because he was going to be, before they got Cruz and Ren, he was going to be the franchise. And he's just not.
Yeah.
He's just not. But the pitching staff, Skeens is just absolutely filthy. And he's added another pitch.
Yeah.
And guys are talking on the MLB Network, so yeah, that's just what we need is know that Paul Skeens has added another pitch.
Well,
He's just filthy. But
yeah.
But the other guys too. I mean, Keller's very underrated. Now, like I said, you look, Keller and Jones, their ERAs are always really good, but their win total's bad because
they don't have any run support.
You could have they could have a 2-point or 3-point ERA, and still not have a winning record because
Yeah.
they just can't score runs.
Yeah.
Now, Skeens is a different animal. I mean, you get one run for him, you got a chance to win ball game.
Yeah.
So, and their bullpen's always decent.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the offense is just, if they can find a way to score runs, which I don't see, then they'd be right there with the other three contenders. But they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
They're going to be a fourth. They're going to finish in fourth just because of their offense.
Yeah.
Unless they go out and sign somebody.
Yeah.
And I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
Their front office people are talented. It's ownership.
Yeah.
Just won't let them spend the money.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
One of my other Kirk's keys is O'Neal Cruz.
Yeah.
In 146 games last year, he had a batting average of 259 and a strikeout average of 334. That's 75 points. I mean, that's huge.
Well, the thing about him is that last year he was almost like a rookie because of that terrible broken ankle.
Yeah.
He missed the entire year the year before. So maybe
Yeah, and new hitting coach.
new hitting coach,
Hopefully
year experience under his belt.
Hopefully they get that straightened out.
Yeah, because I think he's definitely a really good player.
Let me run through this here. The World Series, they're plus 12,000. I got that as a no. NL Pennant plus 6,000. I got that as a no. NL Central plus 800. I have that as a no. Win total 77.5. The over is minus 110. The under is minus 110. I've got that as an over. Make the playoffs. Yes is plus 360. No is minus 475. I've got the no, but in parentheses, I have first team out.
Yeah,
I think they're the first team out. I really do. I think they battle probably with the Diamondbacks down the stretch for that last wild card spot.
Okay.
But I do have them, unfortunately.
No, they're not.
First team out.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get on to the team I've been waiting for.
You're just proud of you.
I am. St. Louis Cardinals, World Series, plus 12,000. That's a no. NL Pennant, plus 5,500. That's a no. NL Central, plus 600. That's a no. Win total, 77.5. The over is minus 115. The under is minus 105. I've got the under. Make playoffs. Yes is plus 360. No is minus 475. I've got a no. Kirk's keys, I'm just going to start right here. The last time the Cardinals were projected to be this bad was 1991. They have got to find someone in their farm system that can produce for them. Because in all actuality, if you look at their win totals projection, they're not far off. But when you look at their lineup, they've got Nolan Arenado, who they're trying to trade anyway. So my players to watch then are Nolan Arenado. Do the Cardinals finally trade him?
I don't think so.
And then my other player to watch is Lars Nootbaar.
Yeah.
And he's just the best name in baseball.
Good young player. Yeah.
And and I remember, I don't remember what year it was, but I remember going to a Memphis Redbirds and Indianapolis Indians game with you up in Indy. And Lars Nootbaar put on a show that night, and I told you, why is he still down here? He's the best player in the Cardinals organization.
Good player. He has been hurt a little bit in the past, but he's a good player. Now, bad news or good news first?
Oh, whatever. It's your team. You get what you want.
All right. You mentioned developing the farm system. Okay, here's some good news. Who developed the farm system for the Red Sox?
I can't think of it.
The new general manager of the Cardinals.
Okay.
All right. So that's why they hired him. Because if you look at the Red Sox farm system now, look at the top 100 prospects in their farm system, and like 8 of them
Okay.
are Red Sox. So there's the good news on the horizon.
Yeah.
Okay, the other part of the good news on the horizon, the good news is that at the end of this year, John Mozeliak is out the door. All right?
Yep.
Bad news, and I don't know if you can statistically look this up, but I truly believe in my heart that the Cardinals could possibly be the only team in Major League history that not only kept the manager that went from first place to last place in one season, and not only keeping, but the signing to an extension.
Yep.
Nuts. I don't care what anybody says about him. What you name one other team that's done that. I challenge anybody to find a team that has gone from first place to last place and signed their manager to an extension.
Yeah.
Now I talk to a lot of Cardinal fans because they know I'm a Cardinal fan.
Yep.
So they come up to me and ask me, and my pat answer is, until they get rid of Marmol, I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't. He may be the nicest person in the world, but I don't understand it, and nobody else does out there. The Cardinal fans are so disgusted by what's going on over there.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of really good position players in this lineup. Newt Barr.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential, and Mason Wynn, in my opinion, should have won the Gold Glove last year.
Yeah.
Newtmar, Wilson Contreras, I think he'll have a great year moving into first base.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Arenado says he's in some of the best physical shape he's ever been in. So he might come back.
Yeah.
Brandon Donovan, Alex Burleson hit well. And poor snake bit Jordan Walker. If it can happen to somebody, it will happen to Jordan Walker. Here he is, just starting to get healthy, just making a run at making a starting rotation. What's he do the other day? Steps on a sprinkler head and sprains his knee. If it can happen to some poor guy, it's going to happen to him. A lot of potential there, they say, but he's never had a chance to live up to it because something is always happening to the poor guy.
Yeah.
But their starting rotation, I don't know if pathetic's too strong a word. Sonny Gray is good. And Andre Palante shows a lot of promise.
Mm-hmm.
But when you got Miles Michaelis third place in the rotation, that's not a real good sign. He's getting old. He was
10 and 11 last year.
Yeah, I know.
With a 5.35 ERA.
Yeah.
But the mustache game is on point. I mean, you of all people appreciate a good mustache.
Well, yeah, but that's not no-win games for you. Evidently not. And now here again, but they have a terrific bullpen. Even the guys below Helsley.
Yeah, if they can get to them.
If they can get to the bullpen.
Yeah.
And if these young guys can score runs,
mm-hmm.
then they got a chance.
Yeah.
There's no way, if they were to make the playoffs, then the sun may rise in the west the next day. I don't know.
Well, they're not that far of a shot.
But, we get a kick out talking about Cardinal fans. I have never seen so much disgust in my life. I'm surprised that somebody's not hanging from the arch. So it's just really frustrating to be over the years recognized as one of the premier organizations in baseball to see what they have fallen to.
Yeah.
And who's to blame. And here's the other aggravating part. It's a really good sign that something's wrong inside an organization when you can go out and handpick. They're like the old, well, a lot of the younger people not going to realize what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
They're like the old Expos. You could field a entire lineup of Hall of Famers by what the Expos let get away.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was 2 or 3 years ago when the All-Star game was in Seattle. 2/3 of the starting outfield for the AL were ex-Cardinals. I could go out there right now and I could select ex-Cardinals and make an All-Star team.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens between the time they leave St. Louis and they go somewhere else and have career years? They let Tommy Edman basically go for nothing. And the next year, he's MVP of the National League Championship Series.
Yeah.
Michael Wacha has done terrific things for Kansas City.
Yeah.
Aroldis Garcia made the All-Star team for Texas.
Yeah.
Rosarina made the All-Star team.
Yeah.
For the Rays. I could go on and on and on. Well,
no, that's
now I know O'Neill was hurt a lot with the Cardinals, but he could have been cutback player of the year last year for the Red Sox, 30-something home runs.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's going on?
Let's go even older. Marcell Ozuna.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for 50-50 season last year, he might have been MVP.
Yeah.
I mean.
So what is it? What's going on over there?
Yeah.
It's just so frustrating when you see these guys playing for other teams. You're like, wow, you're having a great year. Why aren't you still with the Cardinals?
Yeah.
And it's one thing to trade a stud player and get a lot back for return.
Right.
These guys are just basically let go.
Yeah.
Wacha is just out there.
Yeah.
And they have great years with somebody else. What is it?
Yeah. I can't answer.
I don't know anybody that can answer that.
No.
But something is rotten somewhere that happens as much as this has happened.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it stinks.
Yeah.
So you might, I get a lot of flack for wearing hats for other teams. You know me. You're liable to see me wearing anything but Yankees and Cubs stuff. And people say, I thought you were a Cardinal fan. Well, yeah, I am. But I'm being vastly more entertained by other teams right now.
Yeah.
So it's just, and like I said, it's in my blood. My dad was the big Cardinal fan. My daughters have become Cardinal fans. It's very painful.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yep.
I don't mind them finishing third, whatever.
Well, I mean, you can't win every year.
No, I'm not. I don't mind if they don't win a division, but to not even be competitive.
But when you're not competitive, it's hard to watch.
When you're not competitive, and like I said, when you see all of these players that you grew to love in the past, having great years somewhere else.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
It's sad. It's just heartbreaking for us.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Maybe he can turn that around.
Well,
He rebuilt, like I said, all you gotta do is look at the top 100 prospect list and look for Red Sox and.
Yeah, I mean, when he takes over, 100%, he'll get it there.
Supposedly, Mozeliak is easing him in, but let's just face it, the Cardinals were just being real nice.
Maybe they're easing him out.
They just didn't want to fire him on the spot. So yeah, because he's done great things in the past, but there comes a time when everybody has to move on.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, I knew you'd love to hear me rant about the Cardinals. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that's why I kept it last.
Didn't have anything to do with alphabetical order or anything like that.
Well, I had them first just so I could hear the rant at the start, but I thought I'd swap it and go the rival.
So you decided to go instead that starts with a C for the team. You start with the S for the. Okay, all right, okay. I see you.
Yeah. I really did start with them, and I cut and pasted.
Yeah, I know.
But my NL Central predictions, I got the Cubs winning it. I got the Brewers second. I got the Pirates third, Reds fourth, Cardinals fifth.
Ooh, Reds down that low, huh? Okay.
And, again, I think this is a division. Pirates Reds could be flip-flopped.
Sure.
Cubs Brewers could be flip-flopped. Cubs Pirates could be flip-flopped. I think it's another one that I don't think the Pirates have the possibility to win it.
No.
But the Cubs have the possibility to fall to fourth.
Absolutely.
The Reds have the possibility to win it.
Mm-hmm.
They also have the possibility to finish fifth.
I agree.
So...
Well, I don't think the Reds could possibly finish below the Cardinals. I don't see that.
Well, right guys get hurt.
Well, if De La Cruz were to go out for the year, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Get the right guys. I mean,
you're right. You're right. But yeah, it's a very competitive top to bottom.
And Central is kind of like the AL Central.
Absolutely.
It's going to be determined probably in the last series of the year.
Well, and it also could very, very well determined by signings.
Yeah.
And prospects being brought up. Which we
trade deadline deals.
We didn't even mention this when we were talking about the about the Pirates. I forgot to mention this, but they have an absolute stud that will be starting opening day for the Indians. Guy they named Bubba Chandler.
Okay.
Watch for him.
Okay.
He'll be on the Pirates pitching rotation before the year is over. But they won't bring him up too soon because in the greediness of the Pirates organization, I don't know how many games, I don't know what that number of games is, but remember, if you don't bring him in before a certain time, you get an extra year for free.
Yep.
Tampa's done that for years.
Yep, right through that.
Yeah, okay. Yep. So, but once that deadline is over, watch for Bubba Chandler because
that's about middle of May, I think.
He is the second or third rated base pitching prospect in all baseball.
Yeah, it doesn't help you. I mean, it helps you because you'll have an opportunity to go watch him at Victory Field. But it doesn't help the Pirates.
No, they can hold on to him for another year, but like I said,
you can win now.
I don't see.
You may not be able to win that year you're holding on to it.
Yeah, and what's really sad is, the people of Pittsburgh has just absolutely fallen in love with Skeens to the extent that they're even wearing the mustaches and stuff.
Oh, yeah. And that's another killer mustache.
Free agent, he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as he's a free agent, he's gone.
Yep.
That's just sad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay, my bet to take, and I put money on this today. The Pirates making the playoffs. I know I have them first team out, but with their plus 360 odds, it's worth a couple bucks.
Well, I got the Brewers finishing first, Reds second, Cubs third, Pirates fourth, and Cardinals last.
Yeah.
But that Pittsburgh Cardinal thing could
you never know.
Because the Cardinals may have the ability of scoring runs, whereas the Pirates don't.
Right.
But the Cardinals will give up runs, whereas the Pirates may not.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah. Pirates will lose games 3-2. Cardinals might win games 10-9.
My click to bet. Don't bet heavily on anything in this division.
No, and really, I mean, when I say a couple of dollars, that's what I put it on.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
You bet the house or the car on anything, you're hurting.
No. Any Central Division this year, it is too close to call. There's nothing worth betting on.
No.
All right, well, that'll end tonight's episode unless you got something else.
Good.
Okay, well, that'll end it this week. Like I said last time, if you got any questions for Jay and I, email us at buckysportsshow@gmail.com, and we'll try our best to answer those for you. Again, that's buckysportsshow@gmail.com. And I'll be back Monday with BA, hopefully, and we'll break down the NCAA tournament, and we'll be back with Jay later in the week to break down the AL and NL West. Those will sure be some fun discussions.
Yeah, I might be almost as emotional about the Mariners as I am the Cardinals.
So we will see you all next week. Have a good week.